Tasmanian families have very special memories of family outings to Tasmania's beautiful Derwent Valley, where seasonally hop vines can be seen as the drive winds along the banks of the magnificent Derwent River. Yes, it was a family favourite, a visit to the Salmon Pond's heritage hatchery and gardens. A very difficult place to describe, you really just have to see it. The gardens themselves, not weather dependent, there's plenty of things to do and see indoors. But it's the gardens and the magnificent trees which provide wonderful canopies of weather protection. And then, of course, there's the fish. The history is absolutely intriguing. This is where the story of angling in Tasmania begins.
The salmon ponds was developed in the early 1860s as a preliminary step for bringing the fish from the Northern Hemisphere down to Tasmania. Those initial introductions weren't successful. Atlantic salmon were brought down and released, and they just went out to sea and never came back. The thing that was really successful was brown trout. They've gone on to be well established and the mainstay of the trout fishery we've got today. Up until a few years ago, the salmon ponds was really the production centre for the recreational trout fishery in the state. So we produced all the fry and fingerlings that were going to Great Lake or anywhere really across the recreational fishery in Tasmania. The focus these days is just really display fish, and we use fish from commercial hatcheries or ones that we do breed in Norfolk to supply the ponds. We've got dispensers around the ground, so you can just coin operate it, so you can get some fish food to feed the fish, and if it's not too hot, they'll perform. Kids come along, just to throw food at the trout and see them splashing and taking the pellets, really big fish. They're really exciting to watch. You've got your trout lovers and just others that are just visiting the state just to see what's on offer. We've also got attractions here with a museum of trout fishing. So that draws some of the real enthusiasts to the salmon ponds, just to have a look at the museum and obviously the big fish that we've got on display. Similar to the fish, there were a whole range of species introduced as part of the development of the display ponds here. So there's a whole range of trees from the Northern Hemisphere, from Japan and North America, Europe, in the ponds. So it's probably one of the older collections in the state after the botanical gardens. You can walk around and admire the fish or have a picnic. We have weddings here. You can go along and see the natural sort of river as well as the display ponds here. So we've got more native species of trees and plants along the river walk now. We've got level access down into the picnic areas. So yeah, it's pretty friendly for all modes of mobility, and you might see the odd platypus in the river. If you need a snack or lunch while you're here or a coffee, it's all here. You've got everything you need at the ponds.